Welcome to the first ever Bunker Review. Yes! Bunker Review. Bunker Review. Bunker Review. Bunker Review. Yes! Finally, nutnfancy. A cool setup in the background. I mean, we like your tabletops. They're kind of fun. And we've stuck with you this whole time, but yeah, we like seeing your ugly face in front of the camera. I've heard that a lot in TMP throughout the years. Get in front of the camera more. And I'm like, I don't want to. I prefer to stay behind the camera. Do tabletop reviews. I've always said that. But when I did the BOK series of videos, guys were saying, hey, get out in front of the camera more. Here you go. Welcome to the TMP bunker. This is it. The background will change over time. Ladies, all 20 of you, and gentlemen of TMP. Yes, bunker review. We have a lot going on in the background, boys. Representing the personality of the Nutnfancy Project. At times, the history of the Nutnfancy Project. And maybe a couple Star Wars toys. Maybe some funky stuff back there. You're just going to have to look as the review progresses. Bunker Review! Yes, nutnfancy. So there's your intro for the Bunker Review. I am a little bit hesitant to do it because I know you guys are going to like it and want it more. So if I do a tabletop review, guys are going to go, tabletop review. I just suspect that's going to happen. I hope it doesn't. I'm going to get behind the camera again, not in front of it. So this won't be every time, just every now and again. We'll come into the TMP bunker here in the great state of Wyoming in my missile silo where it's cold. That's why I'm wearing a jacket, which, by the way, is probably pretty dirty from the desert. Yeah, this is still that Condor soft shell. It still is awesome. Link below if I can find it. I love Condor products. The only thing I'll say about this out of genre review in the bunker is the zipper sometimes at the bottom will I don't know, just won't go and it'll spread apart. But as long as you get the keeper in there or the teeth meshed up right, it's fine. I've had this thing 10 years. It's been in TMP the whole time. And I wear talls and it's still long enough for me. Look at, I have grill arms, dudes. Look at that. Oh, the watch for the review is a deep blue Night Guardian. There's a TMP Patreon members asking me to review this, so I will get around to it as soon as I can. The watch reviews kind of do this for views, though. I still do them. Join TMP Patreon still. It pays the bills. It helped me put this bunker together for you guys. It wasn't YouTube ad revenue. That's for dang sure. So anyways, thanks to those guys. And yes, I'm still using it. And I will continue to do so. And I hope it continues because if it tanks, then things are going to change in TMP. I hope it doesn't happen. I think I'll always post, but the posting frequency will go way down. Way down. That sounded pretty scary, actually. Nothing. Oh, yeah, that's a gun review. I want to talk about an AR-10. It's from Palmetto Armory. It's called the PA10. All our testing is complete. I did 4 outings. I ignored the internet for this review. Thank heavens, nutnfancy. Thank you. Exactly. And I got my own data, as I always do. The crew and I. Sean helped me shoot this one. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's pretty excellent. Pretty excellent.
PA10.
I'm going to tell you at the end whether I'd buy it or not. You're probably going to kind of sense whether I would or not. Maybe already.
Good gun.
But I'm pretty happy with Palmetto products in the project. Yeah, I mean, we had a little rough patch a couple years ago when I reviewed a value AR, and I didn't really like it. I thought it jammed a lot. It wasn't that accurate. I didn't really thought it brought to the table. The bunker table, anything new. So I said as much. Some guys got excited. I don't care. I just say, what the data is. I throw out my opinion. Pretty consistent, by the way. My opinions are pretty consistent through the years. Based on logic, I think. Based on good system stuff. Good philosophy of use. Thought processes. First off, thanks to Gunnies, a great American gun store. Wyatt and Company making this review possible. So I checked this gun out from them. I don't buy it initially, and it's on a loan process from a 4473. So that's a hassle. Yeah, but it's a process that works. Gunnies has stuck with me for a number of years. I appreciate them. You know, give them some business. Seriously, because, you know, it's a hassle for them to do this. It's a hassle for me to do it. And I like you supporting whatever retailer I'm associated with. And it's been Gunnies for a while for the gun show here. And then we got some boxes of ammo from Federal Premium. Some boxes. Dang, I need some cases. I just threw down $3,000 on ammunition this month. Yeah, it's not like I'm totally sponsored. I've said that. So, appreciate Patreon. Anywho, PA10, 308, Palmetto. It comes in a variety of flavors. I'm reviewing this one. It's a Gen 2, y'all. Gen 2. And this one has a different feature set than you may or may not see on their website. I did jump on their website. And by the way, that muzzle device I put on there, it's not coming with the gun. I'll discuss that as we go along in the features. So just pick, if you're going to get a PSA, PA10, AR10, holy cow, it's a lot of acronyms. You know, just get the feature set you like. Of course, a lot of guys are going out and just buying the components from Palmetto, and then they're putting together their own AR10s. I say that's cool too. But a lot of guys like the warranty if a gun doesn't run. And from what I understand, Palmetto's pretty good about it. Styling. But the versions that I saw tonight when I jumped on their website, I saw like a polymer front end. So a handguard I'm talking. I saw an M-lock handguard. I don't know if I saw this one specifically. I did see this handguard, which we'll visit very briefly. And what is this? ACS buttstock from Magpul. I didn't see all that, but the essential core of the gun is the same. The barrels will change a little bit, and I'll talk about that here in features. Philosophy of use. This is really interesting because I really haven't covered this in my AR-10 reviews or my 308 battle reviews, battle rifle reviews. And by the way, I'm pretty stoked to be able to come to the bunker this time and put another gun in the playlist. I like that because I like having a lot of depth there, and I've been working really hard in the past 2 years putting as much AR-10 content as I can in there. I did tabletop this one already. That's the Wyndham Weaponry SRC 308 AR-10. I said in that one, hey, do you guys still want me to review black guns? And I'm serious. I mean, because if I watched that review, even though it's tabletop and it's not this really cool bunker, yeah, if it tanks reviews and I'm thinking guys just aren't interested, I'm probably, I don't know what I'll do, but I'll probably cool back on reviewing black guns for a while. It's really in views. Views a vote. That's what I'm thinking. And say the same thing here and the same thing will go. But I'm happy to report that over the last 2 years, going back some, I've reviewed quite a few AR-10s. I'll cover a couple of them in competitive options if I can remember, and then maybe throw it out there. This one's definitely going in for sure. So what I was going to say on philosophy of use, though, is since this one is so inexpensive, it allows people who would not go out and spend $1,700 on an AR-10 get into the AR-10 game. That's exciting. I mean, that's different. And granted, you're still going to have to buy 7.62, 51, 308 ammo. That's expensive. I've talked at length about that before in the past years, but it's still cool. You're buying an AR-10 for the cost of an AR-15 thanks to Palmetto Armory. That's exciting. Now, it wouldn't be exciting if it's a piece of crap and if it doesn't shoot, right? We're going to get to that. You're going to get the flavor of how it worked. And again, I'm so glad I ignored the internet because I clicked around a little bit on the internet tonight, see what people are saying. I usually do that when I come back from the desert. And I'll say, hey, does my data match everyone else's data? And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes, and I think this is kind of the case for the PA10. Other philosophies of use, team rifle. I'm talking for a police department, a SWAT team. Would you use this? Let me shortcut it and say, yes, I would. Now, if you understand what that endorsement means, then you've been watching my videos and you know how I'm pretty serious about this. Because I call these styles of guns sappers, semi-automatic precision rifles, with a heaviness and an underscore and an underlining on
Are you on paper?
precision.
Oh, yeah. Now
They need to shoot accurately.
Really? Huh?
Is it my first choice as a team rifle when I have an unlimited department budget? No. No way. I'd go get an MR762 because weight's not a concern. I'd go get a SIG 716 Gen 2 G2. Those would be top of my list for sure. Super accurate, super reliable. They chug through all the ammo we ever fed them. They're heavy, but dang, they're a great team rifle. Team rifle, you actually want it to be a little bit heavier because then you're in a precision shoot. You're not hiking and without rule of law, going over hill and dale. You're not a military member. You're a police department sharpshooter. And so for that, weight is actually good. It settles the gun down, makes that precision shot much easier. Heavy hitter for heavy competitions, for sure. Home defense, nah. You don't need an AR-10 for home defense. Hog gun, yes, definitely a hog gun. I love 308 as a hog rifle. The only thing I would say is if you're shooting from a helo or you're shooting from a platform, a moving platform, I don't know if the 7.6251 is your best choice, even with a break. I'd almost rather run an AR-15 with a good comp on it with 77s. Even 55s will do the job because you can get a lot more shots in there, and they're lethal enough, I think. I'm not some hog expert. I'm not saying I am, but it's an infestation affecting the whole southeast of the U.S. So open season in hogs there in Texas, for instance. I like how hard it hits for sure, and going through brush, and when it connects to the pig that it does something. I'm down with that, but I just don't know if you need that much recoil, which we'll talk about in how it's shot. Enough for philosophy of use, though. The rest, pretty much normal. On a sapper. On to features. So, like I said, dudes, the features on this are varying, of course. You can go to Palmetto's website, which I was happy to say, I think I may mention this, maybe I didn't. It's better for this gun. So this is actually, I went there and I saw complete rifles. On the other Palmetto products I've gone to, and it's like all I see is components, barrels, handguards. No, I saw some completed rifles and they were in stock. So good job, Palmetto. And that's all I ask. As a buyer of the rifle, I want to see the rifle. I want to find out the specifications. I want to see the weights. Give me a lot of detail. Give me a lot of good pictures. I still think they're lacking in pictures. Still, Palmetto is. I think their website still needs to come up to speed. Look at Ruger's. Ruger's has a great website, great photos, great detail shots of the components. There you go. I'm going to start back here this time. And there's so many stocks, it's so easy to get confused. But this is, what is this? The ACS by Magpul. I actually like it. Nice cheek rest on it. Has a mini storage compartment in there. Pretty stable on the tube. And it shot well. I mean, would I take this off? No. This one's good, and I don't think it's that heavy. I think it's pretty lightweight. We don't have an end plate for like a single point sling, but do you really want a single point sling your AR-10, dude? I didn't think so. Let's see if we have a cup back here. No cups either for tie. Oh, there's one on the ACS stock right here. But we're lacking one on the top end of the handguard. But remember, it's a value point AR-10, so you're not going to get all that stuff. I don't think, to be totally honest with you dudes, I don't think a lot of guys sling up their AR-10s. I think, let's be real. Can we be real and just get away from the tactical elitism for a little bit? I think most guys buy their AR-10s, they go to the range, they shoot at about 100 yards. Yeah, at 100 yards, 100 rounds a year, and they call it good. There are some competitors that really run their AR-10s. Those guys are high speed. I mean, I think they're cutting edge. They're putting a lot of rounds in. They're going to really test the guns. I don't have the time, the energy, or the money to test it to those levels. But I'm talking they're putting thousands of rounds through a gun, both in training and in competition. They'll have slings, they'll have comps, they'll have modifications done. You guys know how that works. But I've always said the civilian market is where it's at for seeing what cutting edge is for guns, not the military. I've always kind of, I wouldn't say discounted mil-spec. I think mil-spec serves a purpose. But as far as an end-all, hey, this is how we should do our guns, I think it's ridiculous. Because guns can go way above mil-spec in terms of quality and features because they have the freedom to do so. Mil-spec, in my opinion, here I go on one of my rants again. Rant. Mil-spec is so limiting and it's so bureaucratic. And so to get away from mil-spec is awesome. Look again to the competitors. Okay, so anyways, I was talking about sling and how most guys aren't going to sling it up. What they're going to do is probably put it in their gun safe. Never will have a sling on it. Now, if I'm marching along in this thing and without rule of law, whatever, doing some checkpoints, I'm going to have a sling on it. I probably won't run it that much on a sling because, dang, it's heavy, especially loaded up with scope and a mount and whatever other crap you put on it. We have an upper and lower that is forged in the Palmetto Armory PA10. And I prefer that, like I've always said, over billet. Hope I'm not lying to you about it being a forged lower. I think the upper is definitely forged. I say that because I don't see any forged markings on it. It has very clean lines like a billet receiver. Darn it. Hope I'm not wrong. I could be, though. On their website, they're saying the upper and the lower on the PA10 are forged. 7075 T6. But I'm looking at the lines of this one, and they're crisp. Kind of looks like billet, but I'm going to stick with my forged analysis. Any one of them will work. I've ran both forged uppers and lowers, but like I said, if given a preference, I like forged. And that takes us to the pistol grip. It's kind of like a standard A2 pistol grip, but it's rubber covered. Doesn't have a finger notch in it right here. I would replace that. I do not like it. It's too thin, it's too grippy, it grabs on clothing. Let's just say I hate it, but it's easy to take off. Very inexpensive mod to change that out. And that takes us to the trigger, which, by the way, is pretty awful. It's a value point AR-10, dude. What do you want? I mean, easy to change out if you want. Put a component trigger if you want. Heck, just polish it up, stone it yourself. Just keep the same trigger and it will improve markedly. For the testing, though, we ran it as is in the PA10. Which is to say it was a fair amount of work for me to get, I don't know, good paper out of it. In regards to the trigger, not the rest of the gun. But it's a standard mil-spec rough trigger on this value point AR-10. Duh. Charging handle is value point as well. Bolt carrier group, should I break into it? Yeah, let's do it this time in the bunker. We'll take a look-see here. It's a DPMS pattern, AR-10, as you can probably tell. So it's not cutting edge in terms of SAWC, dude. I mean, kind of like the POF Revolution. The Gen 1 has some issues. I think it needs to be refined a little bit. I said that in the review. Go check it out. This is a 9310 bolt, 8620 carrier. And no big surprises here. And then we have a standard tiny little charging handle on this AR-10. I didn't really weigh this BCG. It's going to be standard. I mean, what did I have at the Wyndham? The Wyndham one was 18 ounces. This would be about the same. Standard AR-10. Direct gas impingement, which is to say, good enough for me, man. No problems with that locking in. Look into the trigger. Easy enough. And let's look at the upper and lower receiver fit on the PA10. Little bit of movement, just a little bit. I'd probably put an AccuWedge in it if it was me. And a different trigger for sure. Or do something with the trigger to make it more better. No loosening of this of the castle nut. Didn't see that. Or the handguard. This is a Midwest Industries handguard. And I think some Palmettos early on had some finishing differences. And we've seen that in some other brands of guns where this will not match that. I don't see that with this gun. It works fine. Yep, Midwest Industries handguard. I really like this handguard. It's narrow, simple, has a top portion there for front BOIS. And then you put some accessory rails on it on the side if you want to. Stainless steel barrel, 416R, 18-inch mid-length gas system. And I really, really love that they offer an 18-inch AR-10. A lot of manufacturers don't. They stick you with, you guessed it, 16 inches. Insert my standard rant. Holy crap. They also have a 20-inch PA-10 if you're interested.
I would just go with this mid-length gas 18-inch one. And maybe that accounts for a little bit of the weight. Because if we had a 16-inch barreled AR-10, like a lot of manufacturers do, I'm looking at you, Savage and Ruger, then it's going to weigh less. So this might come probably around 8 pounds if we lopped off the barrel more. It came outfitted, by the way, with a standard A2 flash hider on it. And let me insert another rant. I don't care if it's a value-priced AR-10 or not. Dudes, manufacturers, don't put that on. I mean, you're shooting a 308, 7.62 It has a fair amount of push. Put a comp on it. Comps are inexpensive. I mean, I don't know how much money they're saving with the A2 cage, but holy freak. I went out shooting this, and it wasn't like so horrible. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't shoot this thing. I'm not saying that. But I've shot different brakes enough, and I'm not a brake expert, but I can tell immediately when a gun is overgassed and it's not being comped properly just from experience, and it was unenjoyable. So much so that in subsequent outings, I went into my bin of 7.62 muzzle devices, and I scooped out this 2A, I think it's called an L3 titanium muzzle brake, and I got to tell you guys, it's pretty excellent. And it's made out of titanium, so it doesn't add anything to the gun. I thought it comped much better, obviously, than an A2. It looks awesome, and it really sets off this stainless steel barrel. If this were my gun, I would just leave that on until I ran a can on it. And by the way, I did not run a suppressor on it. So here is one of our workhorses. It's a Gemtech HVT. This is steel. Finally got a suppressor cover for it, y'all. About time, nutnfancy. Holy freak. We were wondering when you put that on. You've been melting gloves for 10 years. I know. I have. I did a suppressor review out in the desert off the Barricade. That's a Barricade review, by the way. Barricade Talk. Watch out for that. It'll post first on Patreon. And I talk about our Gemtech Treks, which are thumbs up. Love them. And I've really loved this HVT. It is a workhorse. It's just awesome. I will say this, though. I think most suppressors are awesome. I really think it's hard to screw up. Just make it quality, good materials, hopefully a good price point. Here, mini suppressor review. Awesome. 1 in 10 twists, I think I said that. And I think that's features. Now, this is a workhorse scope system on here. So it's a one-piece mount. That's a Burris, 4 to 16 or something. So we just slapped that on. It's just a 1-inch tube, but that has like 15 or 20 MOA built in it. So if we go long on it, totally doable. The rest, of course, is a standard AR-10. Talk about the dust cover, controls placement, and there you go. Now we go to how did it shoot. It only gets better from here. It only gets better from here. Let me tell you this, though. Did you like that pause? Let me tell you this, though. On the first outing, I took on the PA10 with its stainless steel barrel, mid-length gas system. I was alone. Sometimes I like going alone. Because then I don't have to entertain. If I take someone with me, it's like I have to entertain them. Do they need to eat something? Do they need to rest? Because I will work out in the desert for 9 hours straight. It'll get dark here in the wintertime. It'll be like 10 degrees out there. I'm still working. Haven't eaten in 9 hours. I'm not messing around. You ask anybody who shot with me, it's like work, gun. And then if a gun has problems, I got to take things apart. I got to lube, got to clean, got to troubleshoot. It's a lot. And then if I'm with someone, although I will say the crew, like Sean, Jardine, they're solid, man. I don't hear a freaking complaint out of those guys at all. They're just like, yeah, dude, whatever it takes, let's do it. But sometimes it's better to be alone. Because then I can focus. So this is my first target, dudes. Here in the bunker. Bunker review. So Federal 150 FMJ, not great. What do I say here? Bad trigger, you might see that. Yeah, 100%, by the way. Again, I didn't run a suppressor on it, but 100% through all of testing. That is remarkable for an AR-10. Usually I'll see it choke. Didn't run a can on it. When you run a can on it, the whole volume of gas interchange changes. You might have to tune it, put on an adjustable gas block. I did not notice this with being over gas. I thought it shot just right once I put my own comp on it. And this is 150 Federal as well. It's probably XM80, not great. So after that, I was like, what? It was like any other AR-10. I was like, but it is a value point AR-10. So I was like, oh, okay, it shoots about it where its price point is. But then we took it on subsequent outings. This is 100 yards at night. I can't remember if I'm alone or not, but so here's Federal, 168 grain match. Look at that, dudes. Awesome. MagTech, not shooting that great. American Eagle, that's shooting okay. There's that amazing Federal 150 grain soft point, y'all. Holy cow, that is a great load. And then Freedom Munitions, it's always shooting errantly. I don't know what's up with that. I wouldn't buy that crap. And then MagTech. So that was, if you notice on that other paper, the MagTech was kind of like, eh. What I think is with this stainless steel barrel, the more you shoot it, of course, the more it breaks in, the more it tightens up. That's what I'm seeing with a sample of one. So it got even better. I mean, Sean went out with me, and this is Sean's paper right here, dudes. I mean, this is incredible. Remember, this is a $800 AR.
Palmetto
AR-10.
Really good.
Depending on how you have it configured. Look at this. Cellar and Bellet. Look at that. PMC shut the front door. PMC, bro. What? Now, is that a fluke? I don't think so, because you can see it repeating here, and this is with Sean. And Sean's not like some pro shooter. He's a good shooter, but he's not a competitor. He's good with breath control, trigger control, and that's basically all bench rest shooting is. And making sure you have a stable rest. Cellar and Bellet, PMC, PMC, PMC. Dude, I was like, wow, this is shooting better than a lot more expensive guns that I brought to the table. Man, I think I showed you that one, and did I show you that one? Yeah, I only got 3 papers for you. And incidentally, here's an M&P 10 that I showed you in the Wyndham Armory. Tabletop will just flash out across the screen, so that's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but that was an M&P 10, which is in my own system, by the way. But that last paper I showed you where it's getting about 1 MOA, that's surprising to me. That is surprising to me. Even in the bunker, it's surprising to me. I was like, wow. And I think my gut feeling on this barrel is, again, the more you shoot it, at least the stainless steel one, the tighter it will be. And this really gets to the heart of, for me, an AR-10 system. An AR-10 system, and I think it's a good gun, but the Savage MSR-10, for instance, it didn't shoot that great. Don't know if I'll roll in footage or not. It was very reliable. That was awesome. I'm talking about the Savage product. But, you know, it's shooting 2 MOA, 3 MOA. I'm like, whatever. Why? You know, I'll just run my nailer if I want to get max accuracy. But to me, it's all in the acronym. You know, SAPR, semi-automatic precision rifle. And it looks to me, at least, again, this is just one sample, the Palmetto PA10, amazingly, can deliver. Now, tonight, when I clicked around, I did see guys talking about that on their website. So I don't know if you go to another website. There's so much disinformation, groupthink, elitism for everything online. You guys know that. You don't get it here. You just get the straight skinny, in my opinion. But if you go to Palmetto's website, I saw a lot of guys saying the same thing. They were giving it 5 stars, and multiple people were talking about how accurate their PA10s were. They didn't really mention barrel configurations. They weren't just saying the stainless steel version. They're saying the PA10 is accurate. And they're saying it's reliable, which it was for us. I don't remember one hiccup with this. We shot steel out of it, not a lot, mostly brass ammo. What do I have in this one? This is probably some Federal stuff I have in this right there. Ran different magazines out of it, Brownells, DPMS steel, of course these Magpul ones. We're good. I don't remember any jams. Again, sometimes I misremember it. If I find it out in post-production, I'll let you guys know and I'll show you that. So we have basically, we'll just call it an $800 rifle. Okay, so it's an $800 rifle that's shooting close to, if not MOA. Let's be generous, or let's actually be a little bit conservative. We'll say it's shooting 1.5 MOA. Okay, can we do that? So it's shooting 1.5 MOA. Nothing groundbreaking in terms of weight, SAWC, same, but it's an 18-inch barrel and it's a mid-length gas system, which we don't see a lot in the AR-10 world. We don't. That's pretty remarkable and reliable. Oh, and I shot it in cold weather too. So I took it out at night, ran rounds through it, rapid fire, and that's some cool footage. I'll roll that in somewhere along the way. And this gun performed. Instantly, I put this tape on here for camera work, so I can tell in post-production what gun I'm looking at, what gun I'm filming. It's also on this side. It reminds me of the weight too. You can see it right there. It's just a testing thing. Would I buy it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I would buy a PA10 without even hesitating. I would buy it. Like I said, it's reliable, it's accurate, it's inexpensive. If you don't like any of the components that I've shown you,
Love it.
swap them out. This particular version that Gunnies has, the Great American Gun Store, thank you very much. Dudes, the only thing I would change about this is the comp. I'd get rid of the birdcage and throw it in the garbage. Unless you're running a quick attach, can on it. I would probably mod the trigger, swap it out, and then I'd get rid of this pistol grip. End of mods. It's a value point AR-10, so it doesn't come with BUIS. Would I add those? Probably not. Look how low I mount my glass. I'm very, very particular about that. I like my glass to be super low off that Picatinny rail. Dudes, I'm impressed with this gun. Let's give it up for Palmetto. Palmetto State Armory, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen of the bunker, thank you. Very, very impressed with this gun. Very, very impressed. So yes, I would buy it. If you have another AR-10, don't go running out and selling whatever you have to go get a Palmetto. That's not what I'm saying. But if you've been sitting on the fence and you're like going, maybe I just can't afford a $1,700, $2,000 AR-10. M&P 10s are expensive. They're not inexpensive. I think they run what, like $1,500, depending on where you go, maybe $1,400. You don't have that money. You're getting an AR-10 for about half the cost. Now, I'm not here to tell you it's the best AR-10 in the world. I'm not here to tell you it's the best .308 battle rifle in the world. It's not. I don't know if it would hold up to, again, going back to competitors, will it hold up to thousands of rounds? Will that something go on with that bolt carrier group? I don't know. Again, I'm not the owl on that Tootsie Roll commercial. But for most of you guys, I would think 99% of you guys, it will serve you just fine. I mean, the amount of rounds you'll put through this will probably, over your lifetime, I'm talking will be less than 2,000. And I think your PA10 will serve you well. So, good job, PSA. I love this gun. I'm stoked to give him some positive press. That is a nutnfancy bunker review. Tell me if you like the bunker reviews, by the way. I know you will. We won't always do this, but occasionally we'll come in the bunker and freeze or roast if it's summertime. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that notification button. Subscribe on YouTube, support me, and more importantly, join Patreon. Yes, I still use Patreon. It pays the bills. Thanks, guys. Lieutenant Colonel Nutnfancy signing off from the bunker. About face.